Welcome to the Bella Vista Gardening Program. I'm Geri Hoerner, and joining me today is Pat Meyer. She's the president of the Bella Vista Garden Club, and she's a fellow Benton County Master Gardener. And today we're going to be talking about the Bella Vista Garden Club celebrating 50 years.
Yes.
It's a big event.
It's a very big event.
Very big. And I'll also be talking about events coming up and what to do in your garden in June. So first of all, I want to thank our sponsor for the program, and that is Creek's Nursery, and they're on McNelly Road, and they've got a great selection of plants and trees and rocks and hardscape, and they're just a great nursery to visit. And then if you visit them, be sure and thank them for sponsoring our show. We appreciate it. And then upcoming events, the Bella Vista Garden Club had to postpone our plant sale last Saturday, Saturday on May 21st because of the rain and lightning, and it was horrible weather. So,
yes.
And that's rescheduled.
Yes, for June 4th.
June 4th. Okay, so June 4th from 8 to 1.
Right.
And it's open to the public. You don't need reservations or don't have to email for an appointment. So it's just open to the public at the wastewater plant off 71. And they've got trees and shrubs and perennials and all kinds of stuff. Yeah, great plants.
Beautiful.
So, and if you need more information, there's more information will be on the website, and that's bellavistagardenclub.com. And I think Facebook has a lot of information too, the Facebook page.
Yes, there's a lot on there.
Yeah. So, and then the other upcoming event I've been waiting for in a long time is the Bella Vista Garden Extravaganza, which is our garden tour.
Right.
And held on June 11th, Saturday, June 11th from 10 to 4. And it's going to have 7 gardens owned by Garden Club members.
Correct.
And also the Creek's Nursery is going to have, I don't know what all they're going to have, but I think they'll have some specials.
My understanding is, I think there's a check-in point too.
Yeah, you can buy tickets there if you didn't have your
or
tickets.
Or at the garden sites.
Yeah. So, but the tickets are on sale now.
Correct.
And they're $10 if you buy them in advance, and $15 a day of the extravaganza. It's going to be a fun event.
Yes.
And if the weather holds out,
yes.
We've had so much rain. We're just praying we won't have rain. But they're available. Tickets are available at Arvest Bank locations.
Yes.
Let's see, Highlands, Gates, Town Center, Sugar Creek, and then they're at the Bluebird Shed.
Correct.
On Lancashire, and then also at Audrey's Resale Boutique, they have them available there. So, and all the Garden Club members should have tickets. If you know a Garden Club member, just ask them, and they'll get you a ticket. So, and so we'll talk a little bit more about it later too. But we do need to talk about the 50th anniversary of the Bella Vista Garden Club. That is just a highlight that we have. I mean, we've been in existence for 50 years now. I haven't been in it for 50 years. I've only been over
Neither have I.
27. So, but I've been in it a long time. It's just such a wonderful organization. And we started, you started really getting into a lot of information.
Right. Back in March, we did, we planted a dogwood tree at the new fire station, number 3 on Glasgow Road, and had a big celebration there.
Yeah, that was a Coosa dogwood.
Yes, it was.
Which is a little unusual.
It's blooming right now.
Is it blooming right now? So early June it's blooming.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll have to watch for it every year.
Looks great, so it's doing very well.
Yeah.
And then in April we dedicated our history books that are at the Historical Museum on Highway 71, and we dedicated all the history is right there. They're keeping it for us.
Well, they keep our entire history. We've got all of our yearbooks back to the beginning, our financials, our minutes, our, we've got everything there, awards and, wonderful history that they've saved for us.
Yeah, it's really great that they've been doing that. And then in May at the, actually last weekend, at the Friday sale, which we had a beautiful day for that. We had one of our master gardeners, one of our many master gardeners that's in the club, do a question and answers for anybody who came and bought plants. So that worked out really well.
Yeah.
So
That's always a good thing to have.
Yeah.
We've got 18, I think, master gardeners in the garden club, and
Yeah.
there's just such a good resource. You know,
they really are, and she did a
answer
great
all
job.
kinds of questions.
So
yeah.
answering questions, and everybody seemed to enjoy that, and so that was our May event. And then coming up in June, we'll have our June luncheon, which will also be part of our 50th celebration, and we're going to do it at Crystal Bridges.
Well, that's really a big event. To go to
Yes,
Crystal
it
Bridges.
is.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
So,
So and then
looking forward to that.
yeah, that will be fun. And then we celebrate Garden Week in June too, which is the first full week in June.
Now that's the National Garden Club
Right.
Incorporated's Garden Week.
Yes.
And I think that Mayor Christie also dedicated that week as the Bella Vista Garden Week.
Right.
So
But we're doing, that's when the garden extravaganza will be, so that will be part of it during that week. And we're also installing a stained glass butterfly sign for the cemetery at the gardens there, and dedicating
yeah,
to the
because we
garden club.
maintain those gardens.
Yes,
We do. We
yes.
put a lot of work into those
really do,
gardens.
yes.
They're beautiful.
So-
And of course, the extravaganzas is just something we're looking forward to. We haven't had a garden walk or garden tour for quite a number of years. I
Yeah.
think 2013,
Yeah,
something
it's
like
been
that.
a while.
So, and we used to have it every other year, and things changed with all these
Yes.
events coming about. But we're getting back to the garden
Yes.
tours.
Yes,
so.
hopefully we'll be back to normal. I
Yeah,
think we're getting
whatever
there.
normal is, right?
Whatever the new normal is, yes, correct. And then our final 50th celebration will be in July, and it'll be at a farmer's market here. We have one of those old-timey photo op boards, where you stand behind the hole and
and
get
then-
your picture taken.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
So my daughter made it for us and painted it.
Yeah, she's quite an artist.
Yeah. So.
Well, you're an artist too.
Oh, well,
so.
thank you. But so that will be the end of the celebration then, but for the year.
But that's going to be like you can do a family.
Family photos,
photo?
yes.
Okay.
behind
Because I
it.
think we get some families that come to the farmers market.
We do.
We do.
And, so it'll be an opportunity for families to stand
that'll-
behind it, get the picture taken.
That'll be
and-
fun.
Yes.
Yeah.
So it'll
Okay.
be great.
So when we talk about the National Garden Clubs, I think there's so many people don't understand what we talk about when we talk about NGC and National Garden Club and AFGC and all those letters.
Right.
But we're under the National Garden Club Incorporated's umbrella. So, and they started out in 1929.
Wow.
So
amazing.
they've got quite a history too. And then in 1958 they moved to St. Louis. Now I come from St. Louis, so they purchased property from the Missouri Botanical Garden, and then they built their headquarters there. And the back of their building is all glass looking onto the Botanical Garden, so it's a beautiful setting. So, but that's where, it started, and they include the 50 states, and then also the national capital is another section that they,
Wow.
So, but it's divided in, all the states are divided into 8 regions. So we are in the South Central region, which includes Arkansas, New Mexico, Oklahoma, and Texas. So those 4 states are a region that kind of has meetings and gets together and shares, information. And then under that is the Arkansas Federation of Garden Clubs that we belong to. So that's just all the clubs in Arkansas. Then the state is divided into districts. So we're in the Northwest District. So they have Northwest, Southeast, Northeast, all the 4 corners, and then Pulaski County around Little Rock. So when we talk about the NGC and the AFGC and all these letters, that's what it all means. So then it all boils down to our garden club. So, and right now we have 109 members.
I know, we're growing.
We're growing. We're growing. And they're just, you know, members that want to learn and work to make things more beautiful in Bella Vista, so, and the area. So, and we've applied for awards for many, many years.
Correct.
With NGC, AFGC.
And won a lot, too.
And we've won a lot. And this past year, we just received the AFGC and then the regional, regional awards. And we won't get the national awards till August.
Yes.
So,
Right.
but we did receive awards.
We did.
Yeah.
Actually, we received first place for the Heritage Award, which is the cemetery, the work that we do there. And I think that's not the only first time we've won first place. We've won it quite a bit for that. And then we also received first place for garden therapy, which is done at the assisted living facilities, Brookfield and Concordia.
And we do little
gardening
projects.
At least 3 times a year, and we're talking about maybe doing additional ones.
Oh.
Because it's really very popular.
Oh, it's so popular with the residents.
The residents love it.
Yeah.
Yes, and it's a lot of fun to go and work it and be there and see the enthusiasm that the residents have for the projects.
Well, they make bird feeders and they plant, you know, make pots, and they just do all kinds of creative,
creative
gardening things.
And they just love it. And you know, so we're talking about adding more to that. So, but we won first place for that. Yeah. And then we won first place for our yearbook.
Well, I have this yearbook. Kathy Wason is the artist that creates this, and she's such a beautiful, and she's the one that created our logo years ago.
Yes.
So we have a beautiful logo, but she does a beautiful job on our yearbook. It's really nice.
It was great to see her win first place in that.
Yeah.
So. And then we received first place for the Civic Achievement Award, which is for the work that's being done down at the Wall of Honor.
Right, we worked down there with the annuals.
Right.
And I think we just had a big project down there this past year, didn't we? We had to replace...
Right, we had to replace the trees.
Hollies.
The hollies that
got
were
flooded.
There. Right,
yeah, really
they were
bad.
damaged from the storm, and they got replaced.
And then we got a special evergreen that we put in there.
Yes, yes.
So.
I think it was a special one that's supposed to be hardier and not...
survive these floods that they have down there, right?
Well, that's been good since the big flood took out the dam. It seems like we're not getting so much flooding now.
Yeah.
So, but which
we'll
is
see
great.
what happens in the future with that.
Well, because that's sad when that happens.
Oh yeah.
So.
All that work, and then you have to redo things.
Right. Yeah. And then we had a runner-up for the Bravo Award, which is for a member who is always doing something for the club, but never asking for accolades or anything, and Kathy Downard won that.
Yeah, and she's always there no matter what.
She is.
She just works behind the scenes and quietly.
Yes.
And, you know, she's just always doing something. And,
yes.
You know.
So, and then we received second place for our membership increase.
Okay.
So
we are growing, and one of the problems with the garden clubs, both NGC and AFGC, is the membership has kind of gone down. You know,
very true.
It's not as popular as it used to be, but we are getting new members and younger members.
Right, and we need younger members.
Yeah, we need the muscle power.
Yes, we do.
But I have noticed that there are younger members starting to join, so maybe we get a resurgence of interest. And then, of course, with the gardening, home gardening,
right,
people are putting in more vegetable gardens, and they're getting more interested in gardening, so that's a good thing. So, and then we're always looking ways to, you know, provide scholarships for the Dorothy Wallace scholarships that we give away, and we've given away thousands and thousands of dollars in scholarships over the years.
We did 2 $4,000 scholarships last year.
And the year before.
And the year before.
Right.
And I think that's what we'll be doing this year.
So that's 3 years, $8,000 in scholarships.
Yes, right.
And the plant sales provide that, and the card parties if we can ever have one again.
Well, we're hoping in October to have one this year.
Yeah.
So.
But 50 years is just a wonderful, wonderful tribute to all the work that's been done by Garden Club members, and they're just so enthusiastic and they just get along so well. So there's some friendships that have been made with the Garden Club that are just outstanding friendships, It's a great organization.
It's a fun group of people too. Everybody's, you know, works well together.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. Got a lot of projects. We do a lot of projects.
we really do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, and then also they have something else with AFGC with it's the Circle of Roses. If you're in a garden club for more than 25 years, you can belong to the Circle of Roses.
Yes.
So I'm in that. So but it's a kind of a good honor to, after 25 years, to.
Yes.
You
Well,
know,
and then Penny Pines too does.
Oh, and Penny Pines. Yeah, we do the Penny Pines.
Right.
We collect money.
We do for two ways. We also do honor members who have, you know, done a lot for the club, and that's we raise money to plant trees in areas that have been devastated by either fire or storms or whatever.
It's an old program.
It is a very old program.
Yeah.
And then we also do it in honor of or memory of members who have passed or their spouses that have passed.
Yeah.
So
what would
it's a great
they?
program.
Well, one of the things we do is pass around a jar and just ask for change, you know, at the meetings, and then everybody empties their change into that. So
yeah, we've done quite a few of them, and I think it's $68 gets the.
Yeah, it's not very much
no,
money.
it's not a lot of money. So.
But they plant trees where they need to be planted. So
which is great.
It's a great program. So, but 50 years, we'll hope for another 50 years.
Yeah.
We won't be around to see it.
Yeah, I don't think I'll be around to see
Hopefully,
it.
you know, somebody will be.
Yes,
keep
hopefully it gets
going.
carried on.
Got to carry on. So, and then things we need to do in June for your garden is another thing we need to talk about. And this is the month between spring and summer where, you know, you've got to finish up your plantings, which I have to do, and you're mulching in and get ready for the heat of the summer. So, but we've had so much rain lately, we can't even get planting in because it's the rain. We've had a lot of rain. And so
yes, we have our annuals. That's the last chance to plant and deadhead often and continue the blooms.
Yeah.
And fertilizing and pinching back also avoids your plants from growing too tall and quickly or spindly. So.
And the herbs, if you haven't finished planting your herbs, I know it's been so wet out there you can't hardly plant, but you know, just try to do it early in the month because they're going to have to be settled in pretty soon. And then the garlic is the time. Garlic is when you plant that in June. So usually you plant garlic in June, and then you'll be harvesting in October.
Yeah.
So got to get the garlic in.
Yes. And for our bulbs, you got the spider lily and the naked lady bulbs can be planted for fall blooms. And you remove the foliage off its spring bulbs if it's brown.
Well, when we had all those beautiful daffodils blooming, we got a lot of foliage.
Yes.
But we had to leave it on for at least 6 weeks to feed the bulbs. So I think it's pretty close now. I think the first couple weeks of June you can finally cut all that.
Cutting that off. That'll be good.
If it hasn't died back. So, and then daylilies should be blooming soon. I just moved a bunch of daylilies, but they should be blooming in June.
Right.
And you can deadhead as the blooms fade. Now I did have one friend that had a lot of daylilies in Daylily Club, and she would cut the blooms in the evening and bring them in because she knew the next morning they'd be dead.
Yeah.
So she enjoyed them that evening.
Well, that's a good way to do it.
You know, good way. And they are edible. You can put them in put the leaves and, you know, petals in your salads or whatever. And just be sure to pinch back all your plants.
Right.
So they're not spindly. So.
And then our lawns, our Bermuda, you want to fertilize it every 30 to 45 days.
It's greened up now.
Yes.
You can fertilize.
Well, with the rain, that's very green.
Yeah, right.
It's not floating. And mow to maintain a height of 1.5 to 2 inches. And fescus is mow to maintain the height of 2.5 to 3 inches.
Yeah, that keeps them a little cooler.
Cooler, yeah. And lawns require a deep watering, which I don't think we have to worry about that right now.
Right now. But you know, the drought will come.
Yes, and then you want to maintain at least an inch weekly.
And then the roses, you have to watch for your aphids and your fungus. And you want to deadhead them to encourage new blooms. but you want to fertilize your roses. They're heavy feeders, and
Yeah.
be sure they're moist before you fertilize so it doesn't burn the roots. The climbers, you know, you trimmed most of your roses in March, but the climbers get trimmed after the first bloom. So
Right.
once they bloomed, probably in June, they need to be trimmed back if needed. So, and then they do need that 1 inch of rain at least once a week. So, and then June is the time we maybe get Japanese beetles, but we haven't had too many last couple of years.
No,
So
seen a lot less,
they have,
which is good.
it's just a good thing.
Yes.
So just watch for your Japanese beetles.
Yes. Well, you want to, on your trees and your shrubs, you want to prune your dead limbs and the tiny limbs starting on the trunk of the tree.
Yeah.
And newly planted trees and shrubs should be watered deeply each week until
Gotta
established.
Get them established,
Yeah, we have
right?
to get them established.
So,
And leave a few inches between the trunk and the mulch to avoid promoting rot and disease.
and then you see these, trees with this mulch piled
know.
up, like a volcano. It's just, that's not good for the trees.
No.
Don't do that.
No.
And then the vegetables, just monitor your watering, which we don't have to worry about now, but you got to fertilize your tomatoes and that. And with all this rain, we could have some early tomatoes that are damaged from all the rain. They split or whatever. So, but enjoy your efforts on harvesting your vegetables as they come to maturity. So, but don't forget to enjoy your garden. Take some time to sit and just enjoy it, and don't just work out there all the time. Sit and enjoy it too. So, and watch the birds and the butterflies. Enjoy it too.
And the birds have been spectacular this
They
year.
have. We've had some orioles and grosbeaks and a lot of different birds coming through. So, and don't forget, if you have any other questions about gardening, there's a Master Gardener website, bentoncountygardening.org, and it's filled with information, along with bellavistagardenclub.com has got a lot of information. And just, check out on Google,
Right.
all these different things you can do. So the Garden Club's going to resume their meetings in September.
Correct.
And
Fourth Wednesday of the month.
the fourth Wednesday of the
And
month
we meet at the community church.
at the community church. And that's a great location because it's just so airy with a lot of windows, and it's just, it's a lot of good parking, and it's a really good location.
Yes.
Because the Garden Club has met in so many different places over the 50 years. I first joined, and when they met at the Lutheran Church on Forest Hills. And before that, I think they were at Reardon at one time, and then they were at the library, and they just met at so many different locations over the years.
Right.
That, as they grew, they had to have, more
Bigger
space.
facility, yes.
Yeah. So, but community church is a great place to meet. And maybe you can join us in September, and if you're not a member, maybe become a member.
Right.
So thank you, Pat, for joining me today and sharing all that information
You're
about
welcome. Thank
Garden
you for
Club.
having me.
It's just a great organization, and 50 years is quite a milestone.
Yes, it is.
So, and I hope you've enjoyed the program, and we'll tune in again next month. And until then, don't forget to stop and smell the roses.